Welcome to Voices from the Bench, a dental laboratory podcast. Send us an email at info@voicesfromthebench.com or look for us on Facebook at Voices from the Bench.
Greetings and welcome to episode 188, live from Whitmix's Digital Forum. My name is Elvis.
And my name is Barbara, and we are live.
Live.
Normally we're live, but not live, but we're actually in person.
I'm actually looking at her right now.
So exciting.
Yeah, I haven't been missing much.
We're out of town and in Kentucky, Louisville to be exact. How's it going?
This is a great show.
Yeah.
I mean, we're only on, I guess, day one, and already we've had a lot of people come by. There's a great vibe. There's a ton of people here.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's like 250, which
At
is
least
a good number.
Yep.
Few speakers we've seen have been fantastic. I mean, this is really turning out to be a great show.
Yeah, I'm super glad to be here.
I think a lot of people were dying to get out.
Oh, I was one of them.
And what throws me is how many people came from far away. We've run into, I mean, not just Florida, but I've seen Delaware. Where else have I seen? Texas.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people came to Kentucky.
Yeah, I had somebody from Tampa, for crying out loud, on my same flight. It's crazy. Small world.
This is the first time we've had a chance to record together since February of 2020. Can you believe that?
Yeah, and that was Lab Day, right?
Yeah.
Chicago.
Lab Day, Chicago. Before we knew the whole world would come.
Yeah, in another month. What we knew or what we didn't know.
Yeah, so we are getting some great content. So make sure you stick around eventually when we eventually get it all edited. We'll get it out. And we'll have some great people we've talked to.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be some good episodes coming up. But this week,
dun, dun, dun,
we have a pretty
crazy,
fun episode.
Yep.
One of the best parts of doing this podcast is hearing about technicians that are so passionate about the industry and what they do that they have like a dental-related hobby or maybe even like a side business. And if you're on Instagram, then you've probably heard of the Denture Babes. If you haven't heard of them, you definitely will now.
Yep.
Because they are loud and So two amazing, popular removable technicians came together to share their weird and wonderful style of dental art. MacKenzie Mayer and Jenelle, I totally forgot. I forgot to ask
that was
her.
going to happen.
I forgot to ask her. Do you remember?
Tabaković.
Tabaković. Okay. MacKenzie Mayer and Jenelle Tabaković became friends online and has created one of the most unique businesses that cater to our industry.
Which is super incredible.
It is pretty cool.
I checked it out. Really awesome
So
stuff.
MacKenzie and Jenelle come on the podcast to talk about getting into the industry, how they met and connected, and why and what they sell at their online store, denturebabes.com. Now, before we get to these ladies, we wanted to say that this episode is coming out on November 1st of 2021. That's the same day they are releasing a bunch of new products with all new designs at denturebabes.com. All the products and designs are for dental technicians by dental technicians. Now, because Barb and I support what they're doing so much, the first 500 orders that is placed in this batch will get a limited edition metallic Voices from the Bench sticker for free.
Fantastic.
These things are super cool, and they won't last. So all you got to do is place an order at denturebabes.com before November 14th. But first, let's find out the Denture Babes story as we chat with Jenelle Tabaković and MacKenzie Mayer.
Whitmix offers you the ultimate in ease, material flexibility, and unattended production with the Roland DGA DWX 52 DCI milling machine. The popular Mills automatic disc changer expands your lab's production and profit using a 6-slot automatic disc changer, 15-station automatic tool changer, and several other automated features. The DWX52 DCI dental milling machine now comes with performance software and other intelligent updates. The 5-axis mill even knows which tool to automatically swap out when tools have reached their designated lifespan. Just power it on, let it go, and automatically and accurately mill numerous dental restoration jobs with complete unattended confidence. If you're interested in learning more about the Roland DGA DWX 52 DCI, visit whipmix.com or call 1-800-626-5651. And as always, we appreciate your support of the podcast, Whipmix. Voices from the Bench. The interview. And I do pre-apologize. My dogs have been barking like nuts, so hopefully they'll keep it down. I'll try to mute it on my end when other people are talking.
Okay. Don't worry, I chained my children up outside, so they won't be bothering me.
I should try that with the dogs. Not a bad idea. We'd like to welcome to the podcast a couple of babes that make dentures. Yeah, I spent all day thinking of that.
You did.
I figured you'd enjoy that. We have MacKenzie Mayer and Jenelle.
We're waiting. You got.
I know.
Good luck.
No.
Tabaković.
You know, Tabaković.
Tabaković.
All right.
MacKenzie Mayer and Jenelle Tabaković.
Yes. Nailed it.
Did you marry into that name?
Yes, I
You
did.
chose to pick that name?
She chose it.
What was it before? Smith?
Lip. Lipp. I heard don't give me no lip a lot.
I bet. Yeah, you made a good choice.
Yeah, I have a mouth on me.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us. How are you, ladies?
Good. We're great.
We're really good.
Awesome.
Filled with fireball.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wasn't going to let
yeah.
Barb know that.
Fantastic thing.
She's just joking, Barb.
I know. It's Friday, though, so you could be.
We can wait if you want to go. I mean,
No. We're behaving.
we welcome these two ladies to the podcast because they are phenomenal removable technicians that are huge on Instagram. If you're on Instagram, you probably already follow them. But let's talk about really how you guys got started in the industry and then, more importantly, how you connected. So let's start with MacKenzie. How did this all come about?
Okay, well, let's take it back to like 2009. I think actually earlier was when I started in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
I started actually, it's kind of bizarre how I got into it. I had no, obviously.
I would expect nothing less than bizarre.
Yeah, how does anyone get into it unless it's family? I didn't have any family in this business. I took a job at a dental office just to kind of get through college, and they had a dental lab within that building, and I just kept lingering down there till finally someone was like, sit down and try to do something. So I took that job with no experience. I thought it was neat. I thought the smell was cool, which I think we can all relate to.
Weird.
You don't think the smell is cool in the lab?
No.
Every
I
assistant that ever comes in my lab says the smell is great, like a nail salon.
Yeah.
And I used to love it. Now I don't even notice it, but back then I thought it was cool. I liked the smell. When I was really young, I had a neighbor who made me a set of fangs for Halloween, and ever since then I really wanted to learn how to do it, and I just kind of fell into it, and the rest is history.
Do you still make fangs for yourself every
holiday? I do.
Yeah.
I make fangs for most of my coworkers, actually. Pretty much every year. Yeah, it's a thing. I think that's a thing with any removable technician. Someone wants cool shit all the time.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's lots of funny teeth being made at the removable department when I was in the
There's
lab.
just all kinds of neat
all
stuff.
the time.
I just like to be creative and weird, I guess.
So basically you took that job and you stayed there and got trained up, but you were also going to college. So like, how did that all turn around?
Yeah, so that was a little weird. I went to school initially for journalism. I really wanted to write and be a writer of some form. And I realized pretty quickly that that was not for me. I thought I wanted to do that in high school, and then I went to college for it, and I ended up dropping out because when I started in the lab, I really loved the hands-on, the creativity behind it. I'd always been interested in art and things like that.
Awesome.
So when I started, I actually started in the Crown and Bridge department, knowing nothing, mind you. I had to go through all the training, the PTC stuff and all of that. And I didn't know what I was doing per se. I didn't know the lingo. I didn't know the terminology behind dentistry. I just knew what they wanted from me. So I just kind of kept turning that out until one day I fell pregnant. One day I fell pregnant and they said, you can no longer do Crown and Bridge. We want to move you somewhere a little more safe. And so I started doing ortho work, just pouring models and making retainers and things like that.
Wait a minute. You can't do Crown and Bridge when you're pregnant?
Don't ask. I worked for a little different of a lab. It was more so that my belly was so big.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Couldn't reach the handpiece. I got you.
I couldn't reach the benches at the Crown and Bridge department. And they actually made me like a makeshift desk that came up beyond my belly, but it still wasn't working. So I just said, let me go move to a different department for now. And that's how I ended up in the denture department. And I've just been there ever since. And that was, God, 14 years ago or whatever.
You're old.
I'm really old. Yeah.
I'm really old.
What did you fall in love with removables?
I actually liked it better because I wasn't fabricating individual teeth anymore. That was so tedious for me and time consuming, and it just wasn't for me. I mean, it was great artistically, but I just didn't like fabricating crowns. I hated metal finishing. I hated all of that. So when I got into removables and realized I could actually carve the wax how I wanted to and arrange the teeth in the way I wanted to, or my style, I guess, I was creating full mouth restorations rather than just a single gold crown. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I just really enjoyed it more. It calmed me more. It definitely is a good stress relief for me, which is ironic. But, you know, it's just kind of the way it is. And then I finally got a shot at managing my own lab recently. That was like 2 years ago. Wait, that was actually 6 years ago, but it was 2 years ago I met you, Jenelle.
I'm looking at it, I'm like, I think it's longer than years ago. She was looking at me for confirmation, and I'm like,
I don't know you.
I don't know, this was before me.
I'm terrible at math, and I have a horrible memory. Just put that aside for now.
Ditto.
Good reason journalism didn't work for you.
Yeah, it wasn't. Didn't work out.
So you started managing your own lab. That's where you're at now?
Yeah, I actually got contacted by a local doctor in Illinois. I live in Wisconsin, not too far over the border, but I was contacted by a doctor in Illinois in the North Chicago area, and he has always wanted to have a technician on site, kind of like an Aspen situation, but in his own practice. And he built this whole lab and never had anyone that he liked managing it. And he contacted me, and I went down there, and we just started doing it together.
And he found you through Instagram, correct?
He did. He actually didn't find me through Instagram. He did find me online just through standard like hiring apps, but I used my Instagram as a resume so he could just look at my work because I didn't have anything.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. You had your resume out there looking for work.
Yeah. Well, my resume, actually, I uploaded it literally 3 days before he called me.
Wow.
I was just getting really stressed out in the lab I was working for. I was working 60 plus hours a week, weekends. It was just too much. And I have a child, so I wanted to be home more. And he gave me whatever hours I wanted, and it works out really well. So I'm much happier now, and I'm doing my own thing, and I get to run everything how I want. And that's the dream.
And you manage, so you have people working under you?
I'm the only technician in this office.
Oh.
So I really manage myself,
wow.
But I am in charge and responsible for managing all of my patients. So
sure.
I have to manage my entire schedule. I see patients directly under supervision of the doctors. So I'm kind of operating as a denturist.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So that's where you're currently doing. What about you, Jenelle Tabaković? Tabernacle?
I grew up in a family-owned lab, Rocco Dental. My grandpa started it way back in the day. They moved out of Brooklyn to Buffalo, New York. He had family that was in the mob and brother that was a dirty cop.
Great.
And
oh, nice. That's for another podcast.
My mom went to a lot of weird funerals.
Yeah.
And he started a lab, and he was a master technician, so he did everything. And my mother and my uncle took it over, and at that point it was mainly Crown and Bridge. My mom was a ceramist, and I grew up spending summers at my grandma's house, not really caring what was going on in the basement, watching Price is Right and eating leftover spaghetti for breakfast.
Yeah, it's an Italian family.
And once I turned 18 and graduated, I was partying every night and sleeping in until 1 o'clock. And my mom said, you need to get a job. So at that point, the family lab was closed down for a couple years. So my uncle was working at the then open All Care at the Central Processing Center in Buffalo. So there's around 60 techs there, and that's where I started in the processing department. And I slowly moved up into department head of the waxing department, checking 11 other technicians' work only 2 months after learning how to wax. Ooh. So you don't make a lot of friends that way, and I was only making $8.26.
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Stress
there.
is no reward.
Living large.
Yeah.
After a couple months of that, I asked to step down from the position because I was not interested in managing other people. I wanted to just focus on making dentures because that's what I love to do. And I liked floating. I like going to whatever department needed some help. It kept things exciting. I ended up moving out of Buffalo and moved to Indiana, and I started working.
Woo-woo.
I know. At Affordable Dentures, and that's where I met my husband. And I worked there for a couple years. I moved to private practice. I was a waxer for just 7 years. That's all I did all day.
Wow.
Was just waxing like 5,000 units
Yeah.
or more a year, just waxing their replacement cases.
5,000 a year?
Mm-hmm. I kept track.
Oh, sounds like it.
I had a notebook with tallies of how
Very
many
organized.
units I did a day.
You didn't carve it into the wall?
Yeah,
next to
she's
your
got
bed or
little
something?
tally marks next to her bed.
And there was no chance to move up there. They told me I was too valuable as a waxer to move to learn how to set teeth. That was the only step. MacKenzie just drew a penis on a piece of paper, by the way.
Yes.
I heard that.
And they told me I was, I couldn't move up. I couldn't learn how to set teeth. I learned how to do everything but set teeth. So I was not satisfied because I was promised the opportunity when I started to move up. So I ended up going to Aspen where my husband was working, and he trained me on setting teeth, and I worked for him for probably 6 months.
Can I interrupt?
Yeah.
How was it working for your husband?
I love working.
That's what I was going to
I
ask.
was like, no.
We
I
worked
would-
together really well.
Uh-uh.
That's why you're married.
Yeah. Well, I think that working with him was crucial to my journey because setting teeth was the only thing that I ever found difficult. Everything else was easy. I mean, it just came to me.
Yeah.
I'm really good at what I do, and I enjoy it probably because I'm
Good
good at it.
Yeah.
And I was setting, and I was like questioning my whole life as a technician, like almost in tears at the bench, like I can't get it. And he's like, okay, babe, take a break. So I would break out cases, and then I would actually break the cases, breaking the Ivo-based cases out. And I'd be like, oh my God, I don't think I can be a technician anymore. I need to find a new path in life. And he's like, babe, you got this. Everybody finds setting teeth difficult.
Yeah.
So I think I started training with him in February, and in August is when I graduated out of the training program. And then I was given an office of my own in September.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah. So I ended up transferring from that office to another one farther away because while I was pregnant at that specific office,
You fell pregnant too?
I fell pregnant.
What is going on up there?
A lot of falling, apparently.
Yeah.
I was one of those crazy people that decided to have a baby during COVID.
Yeah.
And I ended up transferring out of that office because I felt how little they cared about me, and that was not an environment I wanted to be in. So I transferred. I work with an amazing doctor now, and
I think that's really important in the lab industry.
Yeah.
Is having management that
appreciates
you.
Yeah, because we don't get told enough.
We don't.
Like, hey, your case is beautiful. It's this and that. And now if there's a beautiful case, they call me back into the room, and, the patient's crying and I'm trying to hold it back myself. And
Yeah.
it feels great.
It's much more gratifying now
Yeah.
that we can manage and operate ourselves and see the work in people's mouths.
It helps.
It helps.
But you're still at Aspen, right?
Yes.
You just went to a different Aspen. I didn't realize they could be so different.
Yeah, well, they're all different management, different doctors, different office managers.
Oh, yeah.
So, they run things different. The place where I'm at now, they really show me how much they appreciate me. I was sick recently with COVID, and I came back and my floors were scraped, and they trimmed my models for me.
Well, that's nice.
And I was,
Yeah.
No one touches my lab.
They just graze in your lab.
Yeah, they just leave all kinds of weird things in my lab.
That you can see on
Nice.
MacKenzie's Instagram stories. Yep. Follow her at
Tooth Fairy Kenzie.
That's not your Instagram name. She said Tooth Fairy Kenzie.
Well, Kenzie.
Yeah.
Some people think it means nose, like Knows.
That's stupid.
It is.
Those people are stupid.
Well, since we're bringing it up, okay.
Yeah.
Your Instagram,
Exactly.
MacKenzie, is Tooth Fairy what?
KNZ, like for Kenzie.
Okay.
That was
And
my
then-
logic when I made that name, and now realizing years later that I can't. It's too late to change it, but I should have been more specific, and it's not.
Yeah.
Some people think it's like an abbreviation of nose, which I don't know anything.
I get that. You work close to the nose.
Yeah,
just
yeah, I
not.
suppose.
So how did you guys meet? The two
We
of
met on
you?
Instagram.
Okay.
We met on Instagram a couple of years ago.
I started my Instagram, JT Lab Queen,
There you go.
because one of my superiors at the time was like, "Hey, do you have Instagram?" I'm like, "No." I'm like, I have a personal account that I don't really go on. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not active on Instagram. And she's like, "You should follow this girl." Showed me Mackenzie's page, and I was like, "Whoa,
I could do that.
yeah."
Wow.
And then I was like fangirling on MacKenzie and started following her. And we started chatting, and I'm like, "Oh my God, I love you. I love your work. Blah, blah, blah. Your
Yeah.
tattoos are so cool."
Shut up.
And
I remember finding out we only lived like a few hours away from each other. And then we ended up meeting up at Lab Day
Yep.
2019. 2019?
no, it was last year.
No, last year was COVID.
Yes, and it was right before COVID.
Was it?
The last
Oh, yeah.
lab day was 2020,
Yep.
Oh, my
believe
bad.
it or not.
You know my memory's so good.
It's hard to think of it
Yeah,
that way.
Yeah,
because
it was right
it's the
before
last
everything
thing we
shut
all did.
down.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that was the last thing I did was meet Jenelle, and then ever since then we
That was the first time you two met.
met at
That's
Lab Day
amazing.
in
Yep.
person.
We talk every day.
Yeah.
And we did a slow motion spinning hug the first time we met
Yep.
in the lobby at the
Aw.
hotel.
That's cool.
The rest is history, and
We actually teamed up with Iva Claire, and we did an Ivo art.
Yeah, the Emacs thing,
Yes.
right? Yeah, I saw that.
that was nerve-wracking, wasn't that?
We also had flasks full of Fireball at that event too, if you were
We
wondering.
did a little we got a little loose to paint.
I had special,
Flasks made.
didn't they say
They
denture
said
babe?
Denture Babe on them. Priorities, guys.
Wow. Yes,
Wow.
yes, exactly. See, they have their priorities. I get that.
What I love most about Jenelle is she's the one that, when I was sharing some of my art and some of our ideas, she was like, "Why aren't we doing this as a business? Like, you make cool shit, I make, like, why aren't we making this something?" Because people constantly ask us when we post certain things, like a shirt I found, "Where did you get that shirt? Where can I get something like that?"
And a lot of the stuff that we were seeing was really girly. And
Yeah.
I like girly stuff too, but I don't think
Most lab techs we know are not very frou-frou.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
God, yeah, that's true.
there's nothing really like dental marketed to men as well.
Everything's hygiene. Everything's for hygienists.
Yes.
Yeah,
Little teeth,
yeah.
and that's great. But we were more interested in something a little more our speed.
So I actually, while everything was shut down during COVID and after I fell pregnant,
Yeah.
I was growing larger at home, I actually surprised MacKenzie because we talked about denture babes while we were just hanging out at Lab Day.
Yeah,
and
just shooting the
and I found these really awesome artists from Portland on Instagram, and one of them, Dentist PDX.
Yeah.
I bought art from him,
He's
and
amazing.
he's so amazing, and he's like the nicest guy ever. And I ended up commissioning some of his artwork that he's already done and paying him for the designs, and that's how Denture Babe started. And I made sure with our first round of money that came in, we got MacKenzie an iPad, and
Yep.
it's a new outlet for her to design art and a really good stress reliever.
Mm-hmm.
And now she does our designs, and I guess I'm more the business side.
She's very organized. Very
My
on
house
top
is the
of it.
headquarters.
Yep. Without Jenelle, there would be no Denture Babes.
So the original designs you guys had, those came from somebody in Portland?
Yep.
Yes.
So the famous gold tooth denture?
Yep.
Yep.
That's the Portland guy. Okay, I didn't realize that.
Dentist PDX.
Look
and
him up. He's amazing.
Yeah.
we met him up in Chicago, and me and MacKenzie each got our own individual denture tattoo. I got one of my own cases that he turned into a tattoo, and we got matching molars.
Yep.
Wow.
Wait, you have a tattoo of one of your cases you actually made?
Yep.
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 That's cool. I've not heard
It's
that.
really cool.
Whose denture is it? Some like old lady that went to Aspen or something?
Yeah.
Or-
I mean, of course, a sweet little old lady that I love to.
You got it.
She's probably already lost it.
Yeah, she's got some issues with it.
Oh, I just had one of those.
It doesn't fit.
Yeah.
She's pissed.
But no, we've met so many awesome people that have like helped our business, supported it, and given us so many tips and just things to make it better. And I really look forward to making it better and better every time.
We are actually having a booth at Lab Day Chicago 2022.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh,
That's
that's
cool.
cool.
To see you guys there.
So when you talk about your business, like what are you guys doing specifically? I know you're selling things with teeth on it, but like how do you market? Who do you market to? Obviously dental technicians, but Facebook, Instagram.
We use Instagram as our main advertising platform,
Mhm.
but it's grown to the point where there's people who don't have Instagram that have found us probably through word of mouth, I'm assuming.
Wow.
And we get orders. I think the only states that didn't order from us are North and South Dakota. Where you at,
Oh,
Dakota?
my.
We've been keeping track of every country, every state, and so far North and South Dakota.
I recently saw a report that there's only like 7 labs in one of the Dakotas.
I was just going to say that
so
there's probably
don't feel bad.
I think as far as demographically, we don't really have a goal as far as who is going to be reached with this. I just want anyone who's weird like us to
Tooth creep.
Yeah, we just been
Oh,
calling people tooth
fun.
creeps. If you think it's interesting, whether you're in the business or not, I just want people to love the stuff we make.
I just mailed a package to Iceland.
Yeah.
It's really expensive to mail packages to Iceland,
I bet.
just so you know. But we've sent packages all over Europe,
There's creeps
South
everywhere.
America, and we sell shirts, hoodies, zip-ups, joggers. We have a rotating, different designs,
Yep.
different products that are featured.
We're going to have a fanny pack soon.
and
Oh,
beanie.
I love
Oh,
it.
Jesus.
I'm on the site right now, checking out everything. So that is cool.
And we even do things like make resin pieces.
Yeah,
you
we
know.
do a lot of one-offs, like something that we thought was cool in the moment. So we made a bunch of them, and there's only a limited amount.
And we also buy toothy stuff from other small businesses
Yes.
and resell them on Denture Babes.
Yeah.
So we've got, different earrings, keychains, jewelry that other people are looking for a platform to reach out to.
And we sell them
Yes.
for that. I think it's great. There's so many artists out there, especially on Instagram. It's just such a great artist community. Like you were saying with the earrings, that the kitty cat clay.
Yeah.
She's great. It's just an artist who makes clay earrings, and we talked to her, and I said, "Hey, would you mind making a bunch of tooth-shaped earrings?" And she's like, "No problem." And now we have this artist on board. So I'm just trying to get more and more handmade art.
Are they anatomically correct
Oh,
teeth
I'm
that a
looking at
dental
'em.
technician will
Yep.
really look at?
There's a custom Pure Belly on one. And
Oh,
there's
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. This is
Yeah.
really cool. I could totally see myself. I'm actually going to place an order. I know so many people that would get off on this because we're always talking about stuff like this at the lab.
Well, we're actually opening up. All of the clothes are pre-sale.
Mhm.
That way we can ensure that every single person gets the design they want in the size they want. Instead of us filling my basement with
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah.
30 of this size, 30 of this size, we do
Yeah.
pre-sale. So our shop is actually going to be open November 1st to the 14th. And any orders that don't have an apparel item, they'll get sent out right away. But after the 14th, then I put in the order to local, all-female owned screen printing business. And they will make all of the shirts and embroider the beanies. And I go and pick it up. And then MacKenzie comes down and we spend a weekend folding shirts, packaging orders. My husband will help. My daughter will help.
Mhm. It's a family event.
My son will fall asleep under a table. And we just get together and we day drink and
Get it
Yay!
done.
if your order
Oh
is
my God, you guys are so up my alley. I love
probably
it.
because we're having mixed drinks at 10 o'clock in the morning. So we have
Oh, cool.
nice.
One thing that I think we like to make known is that we are a small business. We're just two ladies trying to put our weirdness out there and hope someone bites. And I think it's really important to remember that, it's a lot of hard work. And
It's stressful.
It's
It
stressful.
definitely is stressful. Just dealing with people.
Yep.
I think a common thing of
Say no
people
more.
who work in the lab is
Yep.
we like being away from
I like to be
people.
behind the scenes.
I call it my
yeah.
cave. I like to be in my cave.
It's my dungeon.
Well, she's a little more creepier than I am.
Yeah.
And I actually became really good friends with Joseph Colbeck
Yes.
Yeah.
and from Colbeck Dental.
Yep.
Yeah, we love
We
him.
do.
He was on.
He
Yep.
is
Yeah.
a really good friend, and he contacted me and it said, hey, I'm looking for somebody to distribute the OMP in America exclusively, but we do ship worldwide. So denturebabes.com is the exclusive provider of the OMP in the United States.
I didn't realize that.
But we do ship worldwide. And we actually beat out some other unnamed, way bigger dental providers that wanted to
Sell it.
Good for you guys.
Yeah, screws on. You got
I
this.
wonder who they're talking about.
We'll discuss things off air.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I need to update our episode with Joseph because I have a link to buy those on that episode, and it's not you guys. 'Cause
Well-
it was, a year ago. So
Better change that link, Elvis.
And pretty soon we will be offering his webinar in the boxes.
Yep.
That will be
Oh, yeah.
featuring my handcrafted queen colored wax. So soon when you buy a webinar in a box from Colbeck Dental, it'll have some of my wax in there,
Mhm.
and it's pretty exciting.
Wait,
that is exciting.
I'm going to interrupt. I just want everyone to know how hard Jenelle works on this wax.
I was going to ask you about this wax.
She has perfected this wax to the point where everyone I've given it to says it's better than anything they've had in like dental catalogs.
It's all over my kitchen floor, by the way. My
It's
husband
everywhere.
is not happy about it.
I'm sure.
He's a dental technician, too. He's got to be used to it.
I swear by this wax. I'm not just being biased. I swear by it. I think it's great. Everyone that sees the work I make with it loves it. It's just one of those things that I think is a must-have.
Let me ask about the wax real quick because I don't quite understand. Because you wax up a denture, then when you finish it, all the wax is gone, right?
It's more for just aesthetics for
The try-in.
Yeah.
for the try-in, and also if a patient wanted a preview of their immediate dentures. Sometimes some regular dental wax is a really bright color pink or a bright color, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's a little off-putting. But also, if there's labs that are using colored composites for gum work, it's also nice
Mhm.
to use colored wax so you can give the patient a little better preview
Yeah.
of what their final denture is going to look like.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Personally speak to the wax use because I'm a lab. Right now, we don't use any composite work. There's really no need for it. But I do have outside doctors that want these high-end cases characterized. And when I send it with that wax, they're always blown away. And I do make a note that says, if you want this to translate over, I'm going to have to do some composite work. And typically, 9 times out of 10, they don't even really care about that. I think they just wanted that patient to see the potential and have that characterized acrylic later without the colorization.
But I am going to be training MacKenzie this weekend
Yes.
on Nexco composite. So I'm sure that if you did a case with Nexco composite and sent it to that dentist and he saw how good that
Yeah.
final product would be, 'cause
Girl,
patients will pay
you
for
already
it.
know I got a plan. I'm gonna do one real nice, and I'm gonna ship it to somebody without telling them, and then I'm gonna see what happens.
So the lovely Nina, who you've recently had on your podcast,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I love her so much. She is another
We all
good friend
do.
of ours, and she trained me via the internet on Nexco.
Yep.
No kidding.
Yep.
Wow.
So I'm her little Padawan. She's my Yoda.
Aw.
And I am actually going to be taking these skills that I've learned from her, and I will be doing a live demo at Lab Day with Ivaclaire, showcasing
Nice.
how easy and user-friendly Nexco is.
We'll find out, because if she can teach me, then anyone can learn.
Aw.
We're going to find out.
See how much fireball gets dropped before. There you go.
Listen, I need to get another bottle, by the way.
So how do you make your wax in your kitchen?
So I have a couple fry daddies with spouts on them.
Don't give away
Yep.
all of your
I
secrets.
won't.
Okay.
Yeah,
And-
that's true.
I purchased dental wax through online, and I have all natural colors that I add to them. And I'm
Right.
actually planning on releasing containers of wax that's not in tins, because typically all the wax that I sell right now are in tins. that you
Yeah.
Oh, I just got the picture of Elvis wearing the Denture Babe shirt.
Aw.
Just now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
MacKenzie just showed me. Well, we're not on our phones.
Good. You shouldn't be.
So I typically sell them in tins, so you can take a hot tool, stick, I have videos, by the way, on my Instagram and YouTube of how to apply colored wax. And I want to create, because I see a lot of technicians throwing the wax into a wax pot and using an eyedropper to add them. So
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
yeah, so I plan on having containers of wax that's not in a tin that technicians can use in their wax pot. So I want to expand in that way. But right now, I started with 9 colors, like all these different crazy shades. Then I went down to 3. Now I'm back at 5.
Yeah.
So I think 5 is a happy medium. And I have sold out of this wax.
Yeah,
every
I
time
see
I put it
that.
up. And it's pretty awesome. And
You're doing great.
yeah, I like making it. It's fun. And I like being able to, I couldn't find any. There's a couple companies that make them, but a lot of them are in Brazil. They do a lot of colored waxing in Brazil, and I couldn't get my hands on those. So I just started making them myself.
Make your own.
Wow.
Went through a lot of different materials for dyeing them and trial and error. When I first started making them, if the temperature got too hot, the colors would separate.
Yeah, we had a lot of fails.
So it took me a long time to get the recipe down. And I have made MacKenzie custom colors like
You might
black
have seen that on my page.
and sparkly blue. So when she does, if you go on her page, you can see this really cool wax art, like a Ninja Turtle she made in a palette. And I'm like, hey, what colors do you want? And I made her all these creepy colors and some sparkly colors. And the best part, if you go to one of those posts, look at the comments, because you can see all of the people asking, why would a patient want that in their mouth?
It's just for fun. I keep
Yeah.
it still to save my life, so I'm constantly making creative things.
Wow.
So the secret to all this, what I gathered from that, is the Fry Daddy. Got it.
Yep.
Got it. Yeah.
I love it. That's what he took out of it.
I'm ordering it right now.
The Fry Daddy is actually what I use for my boil out.
Me too.
Yeah.
I've heard this.
It's
What?
perfect because
It's
the wax
strange.
floats right to the top. You don't need one of those actual boil out cleansers.
But now, do you dump it down the drain right away?
Hell no.
I do.
I don't.
See, Mackenzie's way messier than me.
I am.
I think if we worked together, I'd probably murder her.
We would hate each other. He's so clean and organized, and I'm like the type that makes such a mess, and then I'll just clean it later.
She's the type of person that lets her wax get hard at the top of the boil.
Yeah, and then I just scrape it off.
Is the part underneath your chair just caked with wax?
No. Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit.
So I'll scratch that question. Do you guys ever plan on working together? I'll scratch that question off.
Well, I don't think you should scratch that question because that was our dream to begin with.
I would love
It
it.
wasn't.
I would
You're all
murder.
working together. You're just
I'd
not
murder her,
working
but I
together.
would
I
love
think
it.
we butt
Yeah.
heads a lot, but
We
my
balance
dream-
each other
don't
really
you
good.
think it would be just so badass to have a lab full of our friends? Like Nina, all the girls we know, just a big meaty lab.
Oh, God.
Just estrogen city.
I hate people. I love you guys,
I
but
know. The best thing that's ever happened to me was moving to that lab by myself. No
Oh,
longer
yeah.
working with 20, 30 technicians.
I don't mind. I like to wear headphones and listen
And you can
to
fart in
podcasts.
peace.
Oh yeah.
If you see any pictures of Mackenzie's lab and you see the door that covers the plaster trap open, you know what's up. She's masking the smell.
That's true. It smells bad under that sink. No one will ever know.
How often do you guys hang out? Like, it sounds like you're together now.
She only lives a couple hours away, so she's
Once a
basically a part of my family. And whenever our schedules line up, she comes down and she sleeps on the couch in my basement.
I love it.
And I'm going to a dental course in November, and she's coming to house sit and watch my kids and hang out with my dog.
It's going to be so fun. I'm going to teach your
Oh,
kids so
wow.
much.
Oh yeah.
I'm their mom.
I know.
They already know.
What course you going to?
It's a super secret
Yep.
covert course that I'm not allowed to mention yet.
You'll hear about it.
Definitely.
Wow. Okay.
And there's only a couple other technicians that were handpicked and invited, so it's
No big deal.
no big deal.
That is awesome. That's great though. So that's in
Interesting.
November. So we should know by Chicago, I'm thinking, right?
Yeah.
I'll take this out, but that's not the one by.
Yep.
Did he pick you? Good.
Good.
I think I gave him your name.
Oh, well, thank you.
I'm sending you the screenshot of our chat I had with him when I mentioned your name.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Elvis, who have you been talking to about me?
Nope.
Don't answer that.
The authorities.
Don't answer it.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back on track.
Okay.
We're gonna totally lose this. So, Jenelle, at Aspen, you don't work by yourself?
No, I do.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I worked with my husband for about 6 months, and now I work in Benton Harbor, Michigan.
Oh, you're not in Indiana anymore?
Nope.
Oh.
In your house or in your basement, as I was checking out your website, I mean, you guys have got a lot of products.
Mm-hmm.
So the shirts and the clothes and everything, those are made one by one. But so you've got everything else down in your basement. When people place orders, you just go grab them and ship them.
Right now, the clothes that are on there are extra stock that we purchased during our last run a few months ago. And my basement is filled with organizers and boxes. And because MacKenzie's not here, she's up creating this beautiful art that we're using for our designs. I come down here and I'll do it during the week, put together orders. And then on Fridays and Saturdays, I just take a big thing to the post office and I ship packages because I have a scale and everything here. So I print out labels and weigh it, and I take it to USPS on the weekend, so they see me a lot.
No, that'll take over your day job, or if it ever will, but it kind of seems like it's going to.
No, I'm not really sure what's going to happen. Our first ever shop opening started in her basement. We ended up being able to ship and package everything in her kitchen. Then it moved to the garage for the second run.
A lot more folding tables.
A lot more tables. We had to go to Walmart and buy out their tables.
Wow.
And now it's like, where are we going to go next? Maybe we'll have to rent out a warehouse.
Who knows?
Who knows?
I mean, I definitely know for Lab Day, we'll probably have the stickers and the keychains and the magnets and
the little things
and wax, and Colbeck will be there with us. So we'll have OMPs and probably webinar in the boxes. I don't know yet if we're going to bring any actual apparel,
we could take pre-orders then.
But I definitely think we will have a coupon code that if you make a purchase during Lab Day, you'll get free shipping, and
cool. Call to action.
Selling a lot of stuff, hopefully, at Lab Day.
I don't think we've ever actually considered what we would do if this takes off.
I would hire somebody to do a lot of the things that I do.
That's what I mean.
I have 3 kids, and this takes up a decent amount of my time.
I'm not here, and it's like, we'd have to cross that bridge when we approach it, because I have no idea.
But right now we're just having fun.
Yeah,
we
I'm
like
having
it.
A great time.
She makes these really awesome designs, and she asks me for my input, and we go back and forth until we finalize it, and then
we just hope you guys like it.
Yeah, that's how it is every time.
We're just hoping.
And the first run, once orders started coming in, I was on my way to work. And that day, I was just like crying.
She called me crying, like, you would not believe we actually sold some stuff. I'm like, what?
Like, the orders started coming in, and I'm like, we have 100 orders. 100 people bought our stuff.
I remember the first time we made t-shirts for the podcast, and someone we didn't know bought one, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I love seeing that. Like, someone you've never even heard of.
By the way, you never sent us any shirts. I'm pretty sure I sent you.
I haven't. Well, that's
just
true.
Saying.
Yeah.
We get our honorary shirts after this airs.
Touche. Yeah. You got to be on the show first. Yeah, that's how it works. So, MacKenzie, where did the art come from? Were you always an artist?
Creepy.
I've always been creepy.
Well, other than that.
Yeah, I've always been to art. I've always been into it.
Painting.
I was really big into art in school. I've had a lot of art displayed, and I won a few Young Authors Awards and things like that. But then it kind of just slowly progressed into just drawing as a stress relief, like anxiety relief.
Yeah.
Now it's just kind of part of my daily routine that I have to go home and draw a little bit or paint a little bit, and it makes me feel better. And I just figured, why not start painting and drawing things that'll appeal to my masses on Instagram? And I just started posting it, and then that's when it was like, we got to start making something with this stuff.
We actually put up some of MacKenzie's artwork on Denture Babes on the first round.
Just for fun,
and
see what would happen.
I'm sure you know Eric Niedenhauser. He bought one of MacKenzie's paintings for $500.
Shut up.
Nope.
I pretty much pooped my pants at that moment, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
So he has framed MacKenzie's artwork up at his Pink Dental.
Yep.
And
I'm very proud of that.
Yeah.
You should be. That makes you a professional
I
artist.
sold a piece. Can
For
you believe?
Yeah.
$5. Like,
Why are you gonna
woo,
blast Eric?
let's high five.
Wow.
That high five really stung.
So like you're sitting at work and you're like, all right, so I've got to come up with a new creation. Do you like think about it? Because I was looking at some of your pictures and
Oh,
they're
yeah,
just super
definitely.
cool. I can totally see why people love it. I mean, it's just like very inviting. It's elusive. It's
What?
cool.
Have you seen the creepy stuff?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You know that us ceramists and technicians are kind of a little,
I gotta be a little off.
Yeah.
Lots of monsters,
I
and
love it.
she'll send me things like black-eyed children with teeth in their chins, and I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
that's a little too creepy.
Children, dude, really?
It's a little too creepy for denture babes.
I
I
love
like.
black-eyed children.
I did request a blood molar though, so we're gonna come out with a really cool beanie with an embroidered bloody molar on it.
That's coming.
I'm excited about
I'm
it.
excited too.
I was going to say you should do that just in time for Halloween.
Well, we were hoping to have a Halloween drop, but with everything going on, we have so
Yeah.
much coming up that we decided to just push it a little bit. So now it'll be more of like the holidays. You're going to be able to purchase the first couple of weeks of November, which is why we're coming out with a beanie, so you can have some kind of winter apparel.
Sweet.
So after we close the shop on the 14th, it'll take around 2 to 3 weeks to get in the orders, and as soon as we get them in, they'll be out in time for Christmas. So
Yeah.
if you plan on buying anything for Tooth Creep that you love.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a new tooth creep coming out.
Oh no, he's a denture creep.
Well, yeah, we changed it to a denture creep, the new design. I'm excited.
I love it.
And that's in the next batch.
Yeah.
You'll like him.
Okay. I'm sure.
I know you
You'll
will.
like him.
He will.
He likes everything creepy.
You'll like it.
Yeah. We know.
So when did you realize, MacKenzie, that you had something going with Instagram?
I don't even know how to answer that, because when I first started my Instagram back in like 2015, I think it was, I started it because I was mostly having a really hard time in the lab. I was very stressed out. Like Jenelle said, I was just waxing constantly, constantly working.
It burned you out,
12
doing the
hour
same
days
thing.
doing the same thing. So I was like, I'm going to make a page, because I worked for a full service lab right between Chicago and Milwaukee. So we were constantly getting work from all over. We had over, I think, 120 doctors that were sending us work, and it was nuts. And we'd get a lot of weird stuff, as you can imagine, stuff that was just hilarious to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started a page to kind of expose that stuff. Like in the
Lots
beginning,
of gold teeth.
in the beginning, it was a blooper page. It was stuff that I thought was hysterical, like the lab scripts, or the stuff doctors would say to me, or the stuff they'd send. And then it started to kind of just turn into how I could make that look good. And then it just went from there. And then I just started kind of trying to get better and better myself. You know what I mean? At first, it was just for fun, and then it turned into, well, let me just kind of try to show people what I can do.
And then it morphed into her photoshopping her armpits.
Yep.
Wait a minute,
How
what?
do you do that?
This picture of MacKenzie with her arms up.
My arms up. That's a Photoshop photo. My armpits are not that soft and subtle.
Nobody's armpits are that smooth.
Nope.
I called her out on it, and she's like,
I was like,
"Girl."
yeah, girl, what do you think? I'm Italian.
I love the fact that you guys are real. See, Elvis, people, they fuss and you talk about things that are real and you're just really catchy. I love it.
There's just no reason to be fake or phony anymore, especially with social media. You're exposed. And granted, you can show people what you want them to see, but in the end, they're going to see the true you, I think. If
There's been a lot of days where I would post a picture of a denture, but inside I'm freaking out. I got 5 repairs, set of ASAP impressions. I have all this stuff that needs to be done. I was just working with Dr. Chairside for half an hour trying to get this cast metal that won't seat. And, you know, a lot of the times from the outside, if you just look at the posts, you think everything is going smooth. But then if you look at the stories, if you look at the stories, you can see the real day-to-day life.
The truth.
So if you're interested in what really goes on, watch the stories.
View the stories, for sure.
Yeah.
That's where the juice is.
That's hilarious.
True.
It's like when people post pictures of their perfect kids, but you know, you know what's really going on.
I don't know if you've seen my baby. So
okay, she
has the perfect kiss.
Oh, my bad.
She goes to sleep at 7 and sleeps all night.
I can't say
so.
she's bad at all because I have to sleep here this weekend.
She sleeps all night. How old is she?
9 months. She's been sleeping all night for a long, long time, and I'm very blessed.
You are blessed. That's exactly what I was thinking.
But I also pee when I cough now, so
oh yeah,
mistake with life, isn't it?
Yeah, welcome to motherhood.
There's always a yellow lining.
Oh, literally.
A
No
yellow
pun
line.
intended. That's funny.
Wow. Where do we go from
I
there?
don't know.
No.
Where but up.
Yeah.
So many guests mentioned about their peeing
Yeah.
with coffee, and I don't.
You got some good ones today, guys.
Yes, totally. So what's next for both of you? So like, one at a time maybe. Jenelle, do you want to go first? Or are you just going to keep going?
Well, I'm just learning Nextco at home, in talks with Ivaclear about possibly doing webinars with them, trying to expand and be the most versatile, best technician I can be, and hopefully going to some courses and things. I'll broaden who I am as a technician, and
Just try to stay in the
I have a
game.
lot of moving parts going on, and
Yeah,
we're
I'll
working
say.
on Denture Babes and
Lab day.
Lab Day.
Your career.
Yeah, everything. There's a lot going on. So when I got sick, every single person told me, well, that's because you don't stop. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. And one day when I was home with COVID, really sick, and I came home from going to the garage and moving boxes around of extra lab stuff that I have. And I came in and I'm like, oh my God, there's a couple Denture Babe orders that I have to fulfill right now.
Oh.
And my husband looked at me and he's like, go lay down.
Yeah.
They just order today. They can wait a couple days. Like, go lay down.
I think that's really important, is we have to learn how to take care of ourselves.
Just relax.
Yeah.
And being a lab technician is super stressful. So I think getting sick and being so overworked and tired and stressed out made me really realize I need to spend more family time. So while I'm going to this course in November, the Super Seeker course, my husband's coming with me, and we're taking extra days, and we're going to use it as a little vacation
nice.
to get away. And I think every technician needs that. Whether you're a lab owner or you're just a bench worker, whatever you're doing, I think it's really important to take a step back and take time for yourself, because a lot of the times technicians are very selfless.
Yeah.
We work long hours. We do things in the day that we don't have time for many times, not taking lunch, or you might have to pee for 2 hours because
Oh God, yes, I know.
a rush case
So
or
true.
Reline that
a reline that needs to be done, and the patient drove an hour to get there and they don't want to wait. So I think mental health is really important, because the more you talk to technicians, the more you see that a lot of technicians struggle with mental health because they're so overworked.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think it's really important to take time for yourself, take time with your family, because if you're not happy in your outside life, your work life will be miserable as well. So you need to make sure that you're balancing everything. You're making time for all different aspects of your life.
Well said.
And people can buy counseling sessions from you at
Seriously,
denturebabes.com.
I'm going to sign up.
What do you mean? You should start paying me already.
I know,
You owe me a
for real.
lot of
She's
money.
A great therapist. She's talked me off the ledge a few times.
What about you, MacKenzie? What's next?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, right now I'm just trying to stay relevant in the industry. You know, everyone's going digital, everything's changing, and I work for an office that really has no plans to do that in the immediate future, which I guess is kind of lucky for me in a way, because I get to stay with something I'm familiar with, but I really want to make sure I'm keeping up to speed with everyone else so I can move where I need to move if I need to do that. So that's kind of why we're going to do a little course this weekend, have some fun, and learn some composite. That's just another little notch on my resume that I think will help.
Yeah,
Absolutely. We'll see. I really don't have a lot of immediate plans, career-wise anyway, to switch things up or move or change positions. So I'm just going to try to put all my energy and focus into Denture Babes and helping Jenelle the most I can with that. While she's just got so much going on in her career, I think I'm gonna let her kind of go first, and then I'm gonna follow and be like, how you doing over there in that digital world, you know? and we'll see what happens, because one of the biggest things Jenelle and I talked about when we first met was how scared we were of the transition into digital design and how relevant hands-on technicians will be in the next 5 years. And they were saying this 5 years ago, you know, so it's I don't know what's going to happen. You have so many different variables that I'm just trying to not lose my mind.
You're not doing a good job at that.
Not really, but, you know, I just want to learn whatever I can possibly learn in my free time, because I think working for non-corporate places, they're not necessarily jumping to send you to courses. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Right now I'm just kind of trying to focus on Denture Babes because it's something I'm really passionate about. I just want all the cool stuff in my brain to be out for everyone else to enjoy.
And we all want it on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Slap it on a hat and call it a day.
We also sell scrubs, by the way, with a really awesome gnarly molar on the back.
Yep.
So
Nice.
Scrub caps. We got it all for you.
I work in a really big lab, so I'm going to post it in the lab. And we're always looking for cool stuff. Like,
Yes,
seriously.
Put the word out.
I'm so sorry that I hadn't checked it out before this podcast. That's the kind of stuff that, like, we've been looking for forever.
Yeah.
I've been a technician my whole life. And, like, you always want to find something like that, you know, kind of represents exactly
That was
what
the
you
goal.
do. So neat. So yeah, I'm going to jump on that. And gifts to employees, and just there's so many people that would get off on that, including myself, obviously. But yeah, I'm going to definitely.
No idea how excited we get when somebody posts just a picture of their lab and you can see a Denture Babe sticker in the background, and it's like,
Yep.
Or on the car, we make
Yes.
decals. We have car decals.
What are the chances of small dog sweaters?
Oh,
you know,
Lord.
Is that a possibility?
I wanted to do a bandana, a dog bandana, but we might have to make you a custom.
Denture Babe sweater for his dog.
Why don't you give us your dog size and we'll figure out what
we'll
we can
figure
do.
it out. Don't worry about a thing, Elvis.
As long as it's no shirt.
The size is very small. Very small.
Got it.
So that's awesome. So do you guys know where you'll be at Lab Day?
Yeah. Right
At
there.
a small booth.
We got a small booth. Hey, but next year we might have a big one. So
Or maybe not, because it's double the price of the small booth. So we'll be at a small booth. But we also have a really cool mascot. We know, okay, Mackenzie's creepy, and she had her eyes on one of these life-size skeletons, like one of
Oh, yeah, I've
ones.
seen
like
those.
the good ones.
So we purchased one. We have it sent to her house. She's currently painting tattoos on its bones,
Oh.
and it'll showcase one of our Denture Babe shirts at our booth. We are actually looking for a name for it, so we will be releasing soon a contest once he's finished being painted to name him, and you will win a special Denture Babes mystery box.
Oh,
Nice.
Yep. Name that mascot.
Dad.
Bonesy McBonesy?
Oh, yeah.
Well, we'll put that down for you if that's what you want.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's the winner right there.
It's okay.
It's okay.
You can tell him so. Just lie to him.
Great.
And then you're teaching courses with Ivaclar. MacKenzie just working the table all weekend?
Yeah, the Denture Babes booth while she's doing that.
I'll probably just be
Yeah.
doing a 1 hour just live demo, just showing technicians how easy it is to use, and that I literally just picked it up a couple months before Lab Day. I just started using it. I haven't even done 10 dentures yet. And it is super user friendly with a long working time. So yeah, I'm excited to get it out there. And then probably after Lab Day, I was in talks with maybe doing on their Ivaclar Academy, doing a webinar on Next.
Nice, yeah.
But I would really like to put out a bunch of webinars on. I do have videos and tutorials on my Instagram page for like IVALbase and that kind of stuff, but I want to move it to I guess it's a more professional platform where it'll live forever. And I'm an Ivaclar girl, so
Me too. Yep.
they have been amazing people to me, and
Me too.
we're all from Buffalo, so we connected on that, and I'll be touring their facility when I go back home to Buffalo in February. I'm taking my daughter to go see Billie Eilish. Don't ask how much those tickets were.
Yowza.
And I'll be seeing all of their new technologies, and you can also see those technologies if you go on their Instagram page. They have a innovation bus tour, and you can see
Yep.
all of their new fancy machines. I actually stuck some Denture Babes magnets on their
Did you?
machines
That's
and
awesome.
left them some keys for.
That's awesome.
Nice.
I've just been like slowly sneaking in Denture Babe stuff in all my outside cases. Like, here's a few pins.
Whoa.
Name branding, gotta get it out there.
Totally.
Word of
Smart
mouth.
women. Really, really smart. how you do it.
So any of you planning on taking the route of denturism? It was mentioned earlier.
Well, there's only a couple states that actually do it. And when I looked into it, my daughter wants to do oral surgery. She finds those gory pictures and videos fascinating. She loves it. So I told her, wherever you go to college, we'll follow you. And we were looking into denturism, and it's a little expensive now to invest, $40,000 in it. So, and there's only a couple states that have it.
Yeah.
So maybe if it became more accepted in these states, then yes, I would be interested in it, because I would be able to bypass a lot of hurdles that weren't in now, but it's just not in the cards.
I get it. That was a great conversation. I had a lot of fun talking to you too.
Awesome.
It was all right. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it was all right.
I'm just kidding.
It was decent.
This was great. Very fun. So
we did 2 shots.
We did 2 shots before.
Good job.
Hey, we just got to get nice and...
and 3 after.
Yep.
So everyone, check out denturebabes.com. That's right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the denturebabes.com. And then Jenelle, you are...
JT Lab Queen.
JT, what is
Lab
it?
Queen.
JT Lab Queen. And then MacKenzie, you are Tooth Fairy KNZ.
Yep.
Nice.
You'll get it.
Get on Instagram. Follow them, because they all need more followers, because they don't have enough.
Exactly.
A couple 100,000 or something.
No, not yet.
Oh, you will be.
We're on the way.
If you combine us, then maybe.
Yeah, if you could...
Yeah, there you go.
Very soon, guys. Love it.
Awesome. And we look forward to meeting you in Chicago. It's going to be great.
I can't wait to meet you guys. We're having so much fun.
It's going to be amazing.
We're going to try to plan like a meet at the bar kind of situation.
For
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
For
I'll be
sure.
there.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
bars and pubs that are super close to the hotel, and I think Saturday evening, as a hurrah, going, everybody coming to Lab Day, I have been kind of scouting different venues, and we're going to have a big get together. Everybody is invited, and because there's technicians coming from all over the world, really.
Oh, yeah.
I know a bunch coming from the UK,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to get everybody together, because at Lab Day things can get a little crazy. There's a lot of people going to this class, or have to do this and that. So I wanted a time where everybody can get together. We can share some drinks, have some food, take some pictures together, and I think it'll be really fun.
Yeah.
So just keep an eye on our Instagram pages for those details.
Awesome. We'll be there.
Good.
You better be.
All right.
Noise.
With a voice from the bench shirt.
I know.
I'll get you one.
Give me a 2XL, please.
2XL. Nice.
Yeah, there's a reason why we're not on camera today.
Yeah.
She fell pregnant again.
I did not.
Oh,
Felt pregnant
awesome.
with a cheeseburger.
It's a food baby.
Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you
Thank
and all that you do. I enjoy following you on Instagram. It's fun. I love what you're doing. You're providing a great, fun avenue for people in our industry. Just thanks. That's all I got.
And we're
Just
both a
thanks.
lover of memes, aren't we?
Oh, I do love the memes. I do love the
Yeah.
memes. Absolutely. Well, thanks so much, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah,
Thank
you.
you.
Wait. When will this air, Elvis?
Eventually. I'm thinking. Hold on, Can we just say goodbye and then we'll do it?
Yeah. Goodbye.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Grow3X is a dental supply, service, and marketing company.
It was founded by Norbert Ulmer, and their goal is to help dental labs, especially small labs, to lower their costs for supplies, to provide business opportunities, and help them generate growth.
They really want to help labs as they know how difficult it can be competing with larger lab groups.
One of the things that they have going on right now is their upcoming Grow3X Gem Talks. It's on November 5th in Charlotte, North Carolina.
What is a Grow3X Gem Talks? Well, it's an all-day marketing symposium and a TED Talk style featuring some 10-plus lab speakers as they share their most relevant and practical marketing techniques.
We will hear from Sasha We will hear from Sasha from Harvest Dental, Ann Kelser from AMK Dental Lab, Frankie Acosta from AA Dental Design, and Ricky Braswell from Beyond Coaching and former co-executive director of the NADL.
A few past podcast guests are on that list. All of them will talk about real marketing as it is done in their own labs and businesses every day. Register now at grow3x.com to take advantage of their early bird special of only $95.
And if you enter the discount VFTB for Voices from the Bench, you'll receive an extra 10% discount just because you listen to this podcast.
We can't wait to see you at Grow3X Gem Talks in Charlotte on November 5th.
So guys, have you seen the high prices of precious metal these days? They are close to record highs on gold and palladium.
We know that you are using less precious metals in your lab these days, but if you send in half of what you sent in 5 years ago, your scrap return will be higher than it was 5 years ago.
Because of the high PM prices, you owe it to yourself to find a trusted, reputable refining company. Look no further. Colzer Refining has been tested, trusted, and reputable for over 100 years.
They burn, melt, and assay all under one roof at their state-of-the-art refining facility in Wardburg, Tennessee.
They have doubled their production capacity to ensure your scrap return within 2 weeks. They use an ICP for their assay technique with the fire assay method if needed as well.
With all the non-precious material that has become present in today's restorations, it is important that we ensure the assay sample is homogeneous.
At Colzer, they take the extra step to x-ray the top and the bottom after they melt the bar to make sure the precious metal percentages are the same. If not, copper is added until they are positive and the bar is homogeneous. They know that this step is very important to get a precise assay result.
Their reimbursement to the customer is after their 10% refining fee. They have 0 additional fees. If you need any free shipping containers, which contain a UPS prepaid, fully insured label, please visit mydental360.com/refining
or call the Director of Precious Metal Refining, our friend Tony Cercelli, directly at 914-906-1843.
So collect those vacuum bags, floor sweeps, miscast, and spills, and get the best scrap return in the industry with Colzer Refining.
Tested, trusted, and honest.
And we appreciate your support of the podcast, Colzer.
I'm just going to use first names, so a huge
You
thanks
always
to MacKenzie and Jenelle for coming on our podcast to talk about the amazing business that you guys started. It was super fun chatting with you both, and we can't wait to meet you at Lab Day Chicago in February. So you guys, everybody, you've got to head over to Instagram and follow them on Tooth Fairy Kenzie and JT Lab Queen to see their amazing work and to follow their crazy lab adventures. Then, or before, go to denturebabes.com before November 14th to order some of the coolest clothing in the dental lab. I tell you what, they've got all kinds of stuff. Stickers, coffee cups, shirts, hoodies. Oh my God, it's super cool. A lot of different designs. Remember, if you are one of the first 500 to order, you will get a limited edition metallic Voices from the Bench sticker. And I'm sure, did you help create it? Of course you did, because you're a genius. These amazing 4-inch stickers are amazing, and if you are one of the lucky ones to get one, we hope you share them on social media and where you put it in the lab. So now go get your orders, everybody.
All right, everybody. That's all we got from you live from Louisville, Kentucky.
Live and live.
We'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye. I already forgot how to pronounce it.
I thought it was
Tabaković.
Tabaković.
Jenelle Tabaković and MacKenzie Mayer.
Good job, Elvis.
Barely.